talk of him going to Manchester City or PSG.
Yeah, and this has been risen by one very simple fact. It is, what are we, at the start of November? At the start of January, Sergio Ramos will be within the final 6 months of the contract. He will be legally allowed to talk to any club that he wants, although admittedly, of course, he's absolutely going to be talking to clubs now already if he wants to. Negotiations with Real Madrid have begun but haven't been concluded. There is a certain degree of needing to put pressure on Real Madrid, of needing to remind them of the potential consequences of not renewing his contract and where he could go and how that could, what kind of position that could lead them in. From Real Madrid's point of view, of course, they need to force Sergio Ramos down in terms of the salary. This is a very, very difficult situation for them economically because of the pandemic. They've lost a huge amount of money, and so the negotiations are difficult. That said, I think it is in everyone's interest, and everyone knows it's in everyone's interest for him to re-sign. And I must admit, and this may be over-cynical of me, I suspect that talk of other clubs is a way of trying to leverage pressure on Real Madrid and say, look, don't run the risk here.
Imagine if he went to Liverpool. Imagine if he went to Liverpool. Stevie would be able to cope with it. He would know what to do.
Sergio Ramos has been playing this card, feels like for a decade. Was it his mum or his sister that was saying, oh, he's kind of going to England, this is his time? Bang, new 4-year deal at Real Madrid. He plays the card better than anyone.
He walks into any team, though, doesn't he, Don?
I think he does, even at his age. I think when you are picking a team and you're picking a team of men and leaders and guys that have done it and who are winners, he's definitely in that bracket. When he does leave us and he does retire from the game, which will be a fair few years down the line, I think he'll be remembered as a real Galactico and one of Real Madrid and Spain's best ever.
Sid, what about this possibility that we could see him at Manchester City and Lionel Messi at Manchester City as well?
Well, it'd be quite exciting for Manchester City fans. I'm not sure whether it's a long-term project from their point of view to do that. I must admit, I still, it is very early, and who knows how things will develop. And we've talked about before the difficult relationship that exists between Ramos and Florentino Pérez. Even though I think, as I say, there's a lovely Spanish phrase which is that they're condemned to understand each other. And I feel like that's where we're at now. These two are condemned to understand each other. But before they reach that point, there's quite a lot of to-ing and fro-ing to be done. I don't see it happening at City. But it'd be very interesting to watch him in the English League. And one thing's for sure, Ramos believes that if he played in the English League all of his career, he wouldn't have how many is it, 17, 18 red cards that he's had? Right. He would have got away with only 4 or 5.
He does know that we have VAR. VAR doesn't work very well, but we do have it, Sid. Kicking people off the ball is normally a red card no matter which league you're in.
But bear in mind that the immense majority of Ramos' career has been played without VAR.
Yes.
So in those years, things would have been slightly better.
Imagine how many more he'd have had. Thank you very much, boys. Just a reminder, ESPNFC with you throughout the week. Please join us.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.